Well, Manso Clay Ferraro here on Local10.com with a little Canes Web Extra for you as we've had the weekend now. Couple days to let it sink in what the Canes were able to do in their opener, the debut of the Mark Richt era, as we're calling it now, with the 73 win over FAMU. Clay, you've had some time to let it digest and see what you think about it. What were your initial thoughts and how are you feeling now about what you saw from the Canes?
Initial thoughts, it's kind of tough to take too much. I think you knew that they were going to blow out FAMU. What I really liked, a few things. Looking at the box score, you saw so few pre-snap penalties. And I think what's most important about that is you're learning a new scheme on both offense and defense. For them to go out there and play virtually mistake-free football wasn't completely perfect, but the fact that they were able to go out there and minimize the mistakes while learning this new system, I really think that means that the message that Mark Richt and Manny Diaz are trying to push across to these players is getting through. We got to play mistake-free or as close to it as possible to be successful, and I like that.
I loved what I saw, and it was the old eye test. You know, the eye test for the Canes, they still have depth issues. They don't have as much talent as other teams in the country, and that's what's going to set them back at times this year. But that's more from the past regime and trying to build that talent. What I saw with this team on Saturday was a team that didn't make mistakes. Like you said, they had 6 penalties in the game, 1 turnover, the dumb penalties, the out of play, out of place in a play movement where the guys look lost that you saw a lot of over the last few years, not just under Al Golden, but with Randy Shannon. Unfortunately, for the last decade, you didn't see. It's only one game. I get it. So that's why we can't make too much of it. But I thought right away it was clear that they're buying into Mark Richt's system. Now, the question is, and this is part 2 of our conversation, is how does it translate moving forward from what you saw from a talent perspective when you start getting to the meat of the schedule?
Yeah, and I want to play on that, the talent perspective. You talked about depth and things along those lines. And what I really like, and again, it's never perfect when you look at social media as a gauge here, but the excitement level. And I don't remember, this is my 3rd year covering college football here and covering the Hurricanes. I don't remember the excitement level being this high with fans in this area. So how does that translate? Well, they need to build that wall, that gate around South Florida when it comes to recruiting. Yeah. And you want to be able to keep that local talent home. And I think going forward, if you're able to build that excitement and maintain it through this signing day, through next signing day, that if these kids locally feel as though they have a place to play close by where they can play for championships once again, get noticed by NFL scouts, and play in a scheme that will allow them to get better and better and better and be prepared for the NFL, then that's how you're able to build this program back up. And I know that was a little different than what you asked. As far as the schedule goes, what I like is that they're playing fast and that every week they should improve. They should get more comfortable with what they're doing, and they're just going to build on that game plan. So I think that the hope is that they say the most improvement comes from game 1 to game 2, but hopefully it's also going to improve game 2 to game 3, the more comfortable that they get in this new scheme.
You know, it didn't change my perspective in the sense that I still think the Canes will probably win somewhere from 7 to 8 games. I really don't know if this is a 9 or 10 win team. I think they've got some tough games in the schedule. I think there's depth issues in particular at linebacker with young guys and other positions that you have to worry about. But I will say this, again, the number one takeaway I have from that game is that I feel this program is headed in the right direction. And I'm not sure I've felt that in a while. So if that could be your step forward this year, even if they win just 8 games or so, and you say, well, they still lost 4 games, they still maybe didn't get to a major bowl, win the ACC. I think if you can show me it's moving that direction, I think Canes fans should be happy.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but think back. When was the last time you felt that way? Was it the first year of Al Golden?
Al Golden, the year that they were 6 or 7-0 heading to Tallahassee, people were buying in. We were all that bandwagon. Yeah. And Duke got hurt, they got blown out, and it all went downhill after that. I think that was the last time I felt, maybe. But I think now we feel strongly about Mark Richt, so we'll see. I know Canes fans are excited, and that is your Canes Web Extra here on Local10.com.